Hello and welcome to Awaaz Community Radio. Our website is www.awaazcommunityradio.com and our email address is awaazcommunityradio@gmail.com. To contact us, 0161 839 9817. Our Facebook is Awaaz Community Radio and our Twitter is Awaaz Radio 122. Now, today's topic is about video games. I'm the host, Anthony Howells, and we have our guest, Dylon Howarth. How are you doing, Dylon?
I'm doing just fine there, aren't I?
Today, we're talking about video games, and the list of games we are talking about today is Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed, the new Call of Duty, Metro, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Crackdown 3, Far Cry 5, FIFA 18, and many, many more. We'll also be talking about platforms, so let's get to it. Now, the first game is Destiny 2. Now, Dylon isn't a big fan of this, but personally, I am very, very hyped for this game. It seems very promising in my eyes. The new things to it is a new storyline, new abilities, new planets, there's new matchmaking systems, there's many more. Now, Dylon, how do you feel about this game?
I think it's pretty decent, but I didn't like the first game. There was a lot of complaints about the first game for some reason.
Yeah, there was.
But the new game looks okay. I might get it.
Okay, now, the release date of this game is September the 3rd, no longer September the 9th, and the early access and beta is going to be released on the 21st of July 2017. Now, up next is Assassin's Creed Origins, and it is going to be released on October the 27th, 2017. Now, Dylon, tell us more about this game.
Well, Ubisoft, the creators behind Assassin's Creed, took 2 years off to make an actual good Assassin's Creed, because for a few years they fell down in the game series because they were rushing all the games, so they weren't really that good. But this year they've made a promising game, and it's actually the best game at E3 apparently, according to Xbox and Microsoft, and Sony with PlayStation. So I'm really believing Assassin's Creed Origins has potential this year.
Assassin's Creed does sound very promising. Now, the new Call of Duty that is being released on November the 3rd, 2017. Now, recently, Call of Duty has, I feel upset to say this, but Call of Duty, the whole franchise has gradually died, and I don't think it's just me. I think I'm talking for everyone here, because they've been milking the dead cow now, and it's just the same games over and over again now. But the new Call of Duty is taking it back to World War, and the zombies looks great, the whole gameplay looks great, and I honestly cannot wait to get this game. How do you feel about the game, Dylon?
I'm not really sure. I like it at some points, but at another, I feel like they're trying to copy Battlefield with the bayonet charging mechanism, the drivable vehicles, and a few of the game modes.
Yeah, I do agree there we are. Now, let's talk about Metro, which is being released next year. We don't have a specific date, but it is around next year. I don't know much about this game, so I'm going to pass you over to Dylon.
Metro is a game where World War III happens, and you're in Russia when it happens, and the nukes drop, and a majority of the Moscow end up hiding in metro stations, and a few years later there's a whole civilization on the ground, and you got all these different armies such as communists, Nazis and all that fighting each other. And also the part of the game is to find these things called the Dark Ones who are threatening humans, and you've got to destroy them. But in the next sequel you find out that they're actually trying to make peace with humans, and that's where the game leaves off. You do make peace with them, but Metro Exodus could be anything new. It could be the Dark Ones turning on us, you never know.
Oh, that does sound quite fun. Now, how hyped do you feel that game out of 10?
Probably 10.
Okay, now, Star Wars Battlefront 2 being released on November the 17th, 2017. Now, Star Wars isn't too much of a good game for me. I did enjoy it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure Dylon's got a different opinion.
I did enjoy the original Star Wars Battlefronts, but EA's take on Star Wars Battlefront was pretty horrible. They didn't do too much into the game, and they tried to sell game modes that were taken out of the game through DLC. The new game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, however, looks promising. They've tried to make it like the classic ones, and they've also even thrown in free DLC without having to instead of expecting us to pay for them. But because it's free DLC, that means there'll be microtransactions, so there's a small downside.
Now, it may be a downside, but a game without DLCs does sound very promising, because not having to pay extra to have fun in a game you've already paid for is how it should be, to be honest. Now Crackdown 3, I've never played any of them, but they are being released on 2017, November the 7th. So Dylan, what's your take on that game?
I never played Crackdown 1, but I did play Crackdown 2, and it's a pretty fun game. You just get to kill things as special agents. You have to stop like criminals and gangs and everything as special, like super agents. And in this new one, I'm not really sure what it's going to be like, but we have news that you can destroy the entire city, which is going to be fun, blowing buildings up.
Yeah, it does sound like a fun game. Now let's talk about platforms. Like, we've got the new Xbox One X being released on November the 7th, 2017. Now, me and Dylan are an Xbox One fan, and I don't really think there is a point in Xbox One X being released. Now, what do you think, Dylan?
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty good idea, because a lot of people think it's a bit pointless because they don't know that the Xbox One X is actually the Xbox Scorpio. And the Xbox Scorpio is said to be the best console to have ever been made as of now. So when this comes out, this should have really good performance, and it should be a very fast console.
Now, a fast console does sound promising. Let's talk about Fallout VR coming this October 2017. What's your take on that, Dylan?
Well, I think it's a little pointless, because Fallout wasn't exactly made for virtual reality. It was actually made just for playing as a console game or PC platform game. And I've seen gameplay with VR, and it doesn't look all that fun, because all you see is like this floating weapon or whatever you have in your hand, and it doesn't look all that fun when you're seeing them shooting and everything.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a useless game, because they could have been working on another game, but they've been working on Fallout on virtual reality. Now that sounds a bit dodgy to me. Now, Elder Scrolls Skyrim on Nintendo Switch. How do you feel about that, Dylan?
Well, really, I think it's stupid. It's just like putting Mario on PS4. It doesn't sound right.
Now, Skyrim on Nintendo Switch could be good, we don't know, but playing on a little screen, Skyrim, it's better with a big screen, to be honest. I mean, Skyrim is a classic. They are holding on to Skyrim for a bit longer than they should. If they just let it go and make a whole new game, it would be a lot better, in my opinion. Let's talk about Far Cry 5 being released on February the 27th, 2018. What's your take on that, Dylan?
All of the Far Cry games so far, I think, have been amazing. My favourite being Far Cry 4 for its very good take on a dictatorship country, and its overall vast land of like animals and mountains and everything.
Far Cry is an open world game. Now, for you open world game fans out there, Far Cry 5 would be a good game to go and grab yourself. Now, let's talk about The Evil Within being released on October the 13th, 2017. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of horror games. This doesn't seem too good. I tried Outlast, I tried Amnesia, and I didn't enjoy any of them. There's no goal to the game. It's like a set story, so everything you do will be the same as everybody else. I'm not a big fan of that. What about you, Dylan?
Yeah, I prefer it when stories have choices and have different outcomes, such as when you play any RPG game, you get a different outcome for everything. So The Evil Within is just boring. I'm not really into horror games myself, not because they scare me, but I just don't find them that fascinating.
Same here, to be honest, Dylan. Now, The Last of Us 2. Now, the first one was very upsetting. We still don't know the date yet where it's been released. It's still in development. Now, what's your take on that game, Dylan?
I really enjoyed the last one, even though I never got to play it because it's a PS4 exclusive. I always did enjoy watching it on YouTube and gameplay videos and all sorts.
Last but not least, we have got Days Gone. It's been released early 2018, and I have no idea what that game is, so I'm going to pass you over to Dylan.
Days Gone is a zombie game. We don't have a lot of news on it right now, but there is gameplay up from E3, and it is really good. This zombie game, compared to any other zombie game, is very unique, because when you make sounds, zombies will actually reload to it, so it's a bit like the game Left 4 Dead. If you make loud sounds, hordes and hordes of zombies are going to come at you. And I've seen gameplay, and it's amazing how many zombies actually come.
Yeah, like, all zombie games nowadays are very, very similar, so having a zombie game that isn't the same, all the others, does seem to be quite good. Now, let's talk about platforms. Destiny 2 will be on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC. So will Assassin's Creed, the new Call of Duty, Metro, Star Wars Battlefront and Crackdown. I don't know what platforms Far Cry's on.
Far Cry is coming to Xbox One, PC and PS4 as well.
Okay, so by the looks of it, all of them are on PC apart from...
FIFA 18 is on just consoles only, as PC isn't really that good due to the amount of buttons on a keyboard, so pads are usually the best for FIFA.
Okay, so today's topic was on video games and all platforms. We was mostly talking about E3 and the games that was released. Thank you, Dylan, for coming.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Now, to the audience, thank you for listening and have a good day.